I'm going to show you how to be extremely optimal when playing Star Citizen, and what this first introductory video is going to do is set up your character so that you won't have to painstakingly waste tons of time doing lots of useless travel, alright? So with that said, you're going to go to Persistent Universe. Now here's what I recommend. Make your primary residence Lorville. And what the goal of this video is for brand new players is we're going to get your current location to the HER L1 Green Glade Station. And what this will do is allow you to quickly, as soon as you log into the game, you're going to be loading in much faster than someone stuck in Lorville. You're going to be able to get to the hangar faster to get your ship out. You're going to be able to do things in the game much more fast and efficiently than if you spawn in Lorville. And let me show you why. So before I show you how to get here, I'm going to show you why you want to get here. That way you can understand the importance of it, okay? So, I have spawned in a bed in an apartment complex, kind of a little living area in the game. And what this is going to do, this is going to allow me to very quickly get to whatever it is that I want to do in the game. Do I want to go on a mission? Do I want to fly around? But here, I leave the apartment, I'm immediately at the elevators, okay? I can, well, door glitched. There we go. We'll just phase through it with our face. Okay, we're gonna go to the lobby, and yeah, the lobby ride, it might take a little bit, but that's fine. It's nothing compared to Lorville. Okay, so here we are. We're gonna step outside of the apartment here, and from here, we're gonna just ride straight to the ship section, which is right over here. It's been maybe a minute, and we're already at the ship terminal. All right, there we go. And then I'm going to summon the ship, which I'm going to go ahead and pick one of these here, the Aurora, whatever, it's fine. And there we go. Now we're ready to go to pad 1. Here's the elevator, right next to the terminal, as it should be. And we're already on our way to an adventure. It was that fast. So let me show you how to get here from Lorville and how long it actually takes from Lorville. Also, if you hear that cat meowing in the background, you gotta leave a like. That's the rule. Alright, so the very first time you load up in the game, you're going to be in one of these little apartment cells. You'll just push spacebar W, whatever, to get out. Now, the game's going to be very, very laggy your first time. This is because the game is downloading shaders. It's going to take you about 15 minutes or longer for these shaders to finish downloading, and it has to load the entire planet that you're on. And because Lorville is a pretty big city, it's going to take some time, so just set aside 30 minutes, go make you some food, or go, I don't know, brew some sweet tea or something, okay? And with that said, depending on your system, you should have certain graphic settings, okay? Generally, this game is a CPU hog, which means you want to stress out your graphics card instead. And to do that, set your quality to very high or high. That way it takes more of your GPU than your CPU to process the game's graphics, okay? And then for volumetric clouds, keep it off or on medium if you want to see them. This is the big resource hog too, is volumetric clouds. I don't personally like motion blur, and I don't believe in VSync because I have very old monitors. I also don't like film grain. I like to keep sharpening at 100 so I can see things in more detail, but you don't have to if you don't want to. Chromatic aberration is the glowing light that you see, like see how like light is reflecting off this trash can and bouncing. That's kind of like chromatic aberration. How this light has like a warm glow around it. Yeah, that it just changes that. Anyway, once you have fully downloaded shaders, you can either restart your game, but don't fully close out of that launcher, or it takes a while to load again. Re-enter the game. And at this point, other YouTubers are going to tell you to do things, and I actually have gear on this planet. I did not realize I had gear on this planet. That's cool. I have lots of gear on this planet. Damn, I need to transfer some of this stuff. Holy crap. But what you want to do is don't buy anything. Don't go buy a backpack. Don't buy a gear set, because there is a high likely chance that you're going to die or crash. Either crashing the plane or crashing the game, okay? So don't buy anything. You're just going to go straight to the hangar, get your plane out, and go to HURL1. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that, alright? As soon as you leave that apartment and everything's nice and smooth, just run around for a bit, okay? Just like hold shift to sprint if you want, and when everything is not choppy and laggy, that's when you're good to go. So find the exit, And you're going to have to look at this elevator. I'm holding F and left clicking. You can also just kind of push F on it. That works too. And it's going to call the elevator, and I'm going to show you how to get the hell out of here so you never have to come back to this dump, because it is very time inefficient. You're going to go to ground floor, alright? And depending on which floor you ended up on, it will take a bit. If you spawn on floor 5, you're going to have to go all the way down to floor 1. Alright, once you're out, you're going to follow along this really bright area, turn to the right, run forward, just follow along the video, okay? And essentially, we're going to go find a train to ride. That's right, we're going to actually be riding a train. I'm taking a left here at this big Benny's grab and eat vending machine, which doesn't work yet. Maybe it will work one day. Okay. And, you know, I kind of get lost sometimes, so I'm just looking around. There's a bunch of stuff here. Looks like medical food and, like, fixing up stuff. We don't need the admin office. What we want is the Metro Center. There it is. So we were pretty close to it. But just use those signs. Make sure you're looking up at the signs. Kind of like you would in real life. And we want to go to the Spaceport line, not the perimeter one. So we're going to go this way. That's not the way to go. We're going to keep going this way. And here we go. Metro Center, Spaceport is on the left. So we're going to follow to TISA Spaceport. There we go. To the TISA Spaceport again. And here it is. So all you got to do is wait nearby. The tram will show up, and you hop on it. It's going to take you there. It's already here. And this thing does take about one whole real-life minute to get to. You can look up here at the timer. So it's going to depart in 5 seconds. Alright, so we're just going to wait. Nothing really to do here. No way to speed this up. You just have to wait. You just have to hang out. And now we have another 50 seconds until the train arrives. So I'm going to do a little editing magic and skip that for you. Alright, and here we are. We have arrived. Of course, you know, for me it was a whole minute. For you it was just a few seconds. Okay, so we're going to look at this exit sign. We're going to exit. And we're going to run forward. Let's see. That is to another tram. We don't want to go there. We want to go to customs area. So that's the right way. Luckily, we don't actually have to talk to customs or do any kind of real-life custom stuff. Just keep running forward through all the little checkpoints. There's guards here. They're just for show. There's not actual like combat or anything. And then now entering Terminal 5. Welcome to TISA Spaceport. So you know you're here when you get to this area. There's a big, fat, cool-looking jet there. NPCs walking around. And you see these little terminals, these little computers, okay? You're gonna walk up and hold F and left-click on it. And there you go. And then what you're going to do is you're going to summon a ship. And your ship might not be in the correct place. So I'm going to click claim, and we're going to fly a different ship. I'm going to click file a claim, and we're going to see if that works. Okay, it didn't work. So when that happens, you go to another terminal. But in my case, I have duped ships for some reason. So I'm going to try the second one now and click claim and click file a claim. Alright, because it's somewhere else in the world. Okay, cool. So what this means is I gotta wait 45 seconds. Luckily for you guys, this is a YouTube video, so you don't have to wait. Alright, it's been 47 seconds. We're going to click retrieve now. And there we go. So now it's going to tell us where to go. Alright, if it loads, maybe it'll get stuck and I have to start this process over again. This might be the case for you, where this just loads forever. Okay, Hangar 01, it actually worked. Cool. Turn to the right from these computer screens, and then, well, turn to the right again. Do a 180-degree turn, and you're going to see these signs that says elevators to hangars. And in case you've already forgot, because I have already forgot since I'm trying to make a YouTube video and my brain is all over the place, just look at your heads-up display. You can see Aegis Avenger Titan Hangar 01 right here on this little tooltip. So I'm going to call the elevator, and that's telling me it's in Hangar 01. So now we just have to wait for the elevator like you would in real life, and NPCs standing on benches. I guess he's got the little shaky leg. Alright, so Hangar 01 there. No elevator music in the future, apparently. That's fine. What are these cushions for? It's a padded room, so no one can hear you scream in space, right? Alright, so there we go. We're in Hangar 01. Now, if you had a really big spaceship, it would take up all of this room, but I just have the little baby one here. I'm going to sprint towards it, and then in this next setup, I'm going to teach you how to fly. Now, every ship is different. You're going to have to get into your ship multiple different ways. In this way, I can get in from the front or the ramp access in the back. It depends on the ship. Just hold F and hover over ships, and it'll show you how to enter it. So I'm going to go ahead and enter this one from the front because it's quicker that way. Now, I have to do it again because, well, one it opens it, and then the second time it does the little animation to climb in. Alright. So here's how this works, okay? You've jumped in your ship. It's obviously turned off. If you hold R, that should turn it on. If that doesn't, push the I button. That'll turn it on. Alright, so at this point, push F11, and this is going to open a little terminal here. Click Friends, then click Lorville Landing Services, and click this little call button. And what that'll do is tell them to open the roof hatch for you. And if you don't do this, you can't fly out. I'm going to push F11 to close the screen. Now, some ships have that exact thing on the panel here. So you can see, like, if I use my mouse wheel and scroll in, I can zoom here, I can click Menu, and then I can click Comms, and I can click this button to do that exact same thing. Some ships have extra monitors that just have this on there, but not all the ships do. So anyway, so now if I hold Z, I can look around without actually turning the ship or anything, and I can look up and I can see that the hangar is opening. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this thing is not indicative of how open the hangar actually is. This thing could be wide open and you can still crash into a wall and die. Because it could be the server lags, or maybe you're lagging. The door opening animation is purely client side. I would give it a minute before you actually take off, okay? So flight controls, alright? Once you have everything powered up here, you can see it's a little hard to show you, but you see this. Hold on. You see this hide and qua bars? That means the ship is powered on. Like, I'm going to turn the ship off real quick, and you'll see those bars go away. See? Engines offline. So I'm going to push I and turn them back on. There you go. So you know it's online when those two bars are showing. Alright? With that said, you're going to hold spacebar, and that's going to hover you upwards, like so. Alright? I don't know why it says restricted area above. That's weird. That's a bug. Okay, so spacebar goes up, control goes down, alright? Now, N retracts your landing gear. Now, I pushed F4 to go into third person mode. F4, 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 okay? So, what I can do here is I can push F4 and hold Z, and I can look around my ship, alright? Without steering it, okay? Make sure you're holding Z, and you see those little landing gears? If you push in, it retracts them. If you go into a warp drive, it retracts anyway. It's whatever. Just don't try to land with those not out. Alright, so I'm going to let go of Z now, and then I'm going to F4. That's going to reset the default position there. F4 again to go back into first person mode. Alright? Now, if you just scroll mouse up, you point up, mouse wheel down, points down, and points right. Basically, your mouse wheel points to wherever you want to look, okay? Your A key will hover you to the left. So I'm facing forward, and I'm going to hover to the left. D hovers you to the right. The S key hovers you backwards, and W throttles you forward, okay? Now, if you see here on the heads-up display, it's a little hard because, hold on, let's do it this way. You see this little velocity meter right here? Okay, there's a way to control this, and this is not a throttle meter, this is a velocity meter. You see this little red box that's going up and down? That is your mouse wheel, okay? If you have this thing all the way up, that is your max. It's a speed limiter, okay? So right here, there is no maximal speed. Whereas if I set it like way down here and I hold W, like I'm not going to go, like I'm gonna go, I can't even move. I can't go forward or backwards. This locks the ship, okay? This means I can't do anything. If I move it up a bit, my maximum speed is now like 5 miles an hour, okay? So, but if I crank this thing up, I can obviously go faster, right? So, I'm going to crank it all the way up because I like to go fast. I'm going to point upwards and hold W and fly upwards, right? Okay, there we go. We're just going to fly up a little bit. And if I just because I'm on a planet, there's no gravity, so I'm not going to coast around. I'm going to stop. Alright, also the X key is your space brake. Control goes down, like I said. Spacebar hovers you upwards. It's all pretty simple, okay? From here, though, there's a few other things to look at, and I want to educate you on. So, you see here, and that noise means radar lock, so that means something has looked at me and pushed the T key, and that means they've locked onto me. I don't know if that's a player. It looks like it might be a player. I can see, you see this little blue ship icon? We can see them up here. They've locked onto me, right? whatever this ship is has locked onto me to, I guess, check my name. That's pretty much all they're doing. You can see that they've... Did they stop locking onto me? Let's see. Yeah, they've stopped locking onto me. They just wanted to look at my name. That's all. They're just checking on me. Okay, but, you know, that could be a warning that someone's going to target and shoot at you. So let me talk more about the heads-up display before we fly. I know. Alright, so this middle area, you'll see these numbers. You see this 0, -5, and 10? This is your angle of, like, looking, okay? So, oh, by the way, the Q key will roll you left, like so, and the E key will roll you right. Alright? You'll notice the numbers kind of hover around. So if you get those numbers nice and lined up horizontally, that means you are nice and lined up. Okay, you see how it says 5? That means I am looking 5 degrees upward. If I tilt down now, I am now looking 0 degrees. So I am basically fully leveled out. This is about where you want to be when you land. Maybe tilted up just a bit depending on your ship. But this makes for a nice landing. Whereas, if I'm tilted up to like 25 degrees, well, you can see that this wouldn't be that nice of a landing, right? Because my butt's kind of coming down first. That would not be cool. Alright, so with that said, once you go beyond 90, you start hitting the negatives, because 90 degrees is straight up. So you can see when I hit 90 degrees, my ship is tilted, and no amount of spinning will really fix that, okay? So we're at a 90-degree angle, and this is how you want to go into space. Also, the C key is your cruise control. You can see where my velocity square is. I'm going to push C, and that's basically like holding W. That's just holding W. And it's going to increase the speed as much as possible. Now, if I use the shift key, just like we sprint, that's going to use thrusters. So you see on the left there where that little boost meter is filling up, or not really filling up, but going down, that will increase your speed. Now also, on the right side, which I forgot to show you, is the altitude meter. This shows you how high up you are from ground level, or sea level, or whatever, right? So, if that number gets really close to 0, you're about to crash into the ground. So be aware of that. So you want to fly until you've basically entered outer space. Again, you can use Z to look around. Also, do note, if you just tap Z, you can look around too without holding it. Okay? But otherwise, you see this little wiggly line in the very center of my screen? This is the virtual joystick. I'm going to turn cruise control off now because we're 25,000 feet in the or kilometers in the air. Okay, so this is your virtual joystick. As long as this little squiggly line is in the middle, you're not going to look anywhere. But if you push it up, you're going to slowly tilt up. And if I go all the way up, I'm going to very rapidly basically move a joystick up. This is like your joystick, a virtual joystick. This can be changed, but I'm not going to teach that in today's video. So you can see we're pretty much above the planet. You can see our speed, by the way, for those who don't know, the speed is right here. It's this number. That is how fast you're going. So I'm going to hold W, and I am now starting to, reverse at that amount of kilometers per hour. Very cool to know. So now that we're in outer space, how do we get to her L1? That's the goal of today's video, to get you there and bound, kind of like a Hearthstone in World of Warcraft, okay? For you MMO players out there. I'm an MMO player, so I like to use MMO terms. We're going to push F2. That's going to open the navigation mode. You can also, any of your F keys will open these little things down here. So you can also click Skyline. That's the screen I'm on right now, is Skyline down here, okay? And it's a little tricky, but we're this little green triangle here. I'm going to use mouse wheel to scroll in. If you scroll in too much, things just kind of start disappearing, whatever. Just scroll out if that happens. So her L1, this is like a space station that's outside of Hurston's planet. It looks like it's far away, and well, it technically is. It's not really, though. We're going to left-click it, and you'll see here on the top right, it's targeted, and it says it's over 1 million kilometers away. That's fine. We're in a space game. Now I'm going to click Set Route. Okay? And sometimes this doesn't work. You have to constantly untarget and retarget and mess with these buttons until this pops up on here that says Navigation Mode. Current fuel and required fuel to get there. Don't worry about fuel. It's super, super cheap. It's not like in real life. Thanks, Biden. Okay, so we've got navigation mode selected for her L1. So let's go ahead and get there. I'm going to push F2 to close this menu now. So what I'm going to do is, you see, it's a little hard to see, but you see that blue triangle at the top of my screen. I'm going to look at it. Well, I'm going to try to look at it. It's too far away. So I'm going to actually point my ship towards that blue triangle. All right. There we go, and it's hard to see because of the sun, but you see this little blue box here? That is what we have navigated to, right? Or that's what we have set to navigate to. So I'm going to push B, and that's going to open up your quantum drive, okay? Now, normally when you have quantum drive open, everything on the planet will start lighting up most of the time. However, it's not right now for some reason. I don't know why. It's just working as intended, okay? But you're going, when you have this quantum drive system online screen that you can see here in the middle, point it and make sure that you've got this little aiming cursor right where you want. You'll see the calibration fill up on the left side, and when it says ready and spooling complete, push and hold the B button. And that's going to activate your quantum drive. Now, this is the part where a lot of people crash, okay? And when you, like, I don't mean crash and blow up. Well, that too, but this is where your game crashes, okay? Most of the time. And any items that you were carrying on you are basically just gone. They're just gone. Sometimes, I don't know why, your spaceship will also just blow up. It'll just randomly blow up. Now, there is something that can happen here on this screen. If you hear, like, warning beeps and warning sounds, and then you get, like, a little red pop that says you've been inignited, I think is the word. I don't know if I got that word right. It means that an NPC, pirate, a player, or a police officer has essentially pulled you over from warp drive. I don't really know what to do in those situations. I just tend to fly away and re-warp. I've never really been in trouble for that. But yeah, it does happen. I don't know why it happens or how to prevent it from happening. I'm guessing it's like a ganker that stops your warp somehow. I don't know how that works yet. I'm still learning, you know, this part of the game. So now this is going to look kind of scary because you're just going to whoosh in here, you know, all willy-nilly, right? And there we go. So now we're in a little asteroid field. Okay, so I'm going to push B and close the quantum drive, but now I'm going to push B and reopen it because I want to target her L1 and get just a little bit closer. It's 73 kilometers away. I'm going to hold B once it's complete, and that's just going to put me a little bit closer. Now I'm at 24 kilometers away, and it says I'm too close. Okay, so I'm going to kind of align myself with the space station, push B to turn that off, and hold W to go forward. Now, we're not on a planet. We're in space. So if you look at my speed here, and my thrusters don't really do as much as they did on the planet, right? I'm still going pretty fast, over 1,000. Now, I'm going to let go of everything and hold my space brake, which is X. I'm going to hold W, or I'm sorry, yeah, I'm going to hold W to try to slow down, and look how fast I'm still going, okay? You have to glide around this, because you will coast past the hell out of this. I'm going to scroll my mouse wheel down to lower my maximum speed, and you can see I'm still coasting, okay? You see at the top where it says, please contact ATC to land in red letters? We're going to do the same thing we did to open those hangar doors, okay? Now that my speed is 0, we're good. Make sure that your speed is nice and 0. So push F11 to open that communication screen, click Friends, click her L1 Glade Station. That's going to call them, and they're going to be like, yeah, you can land over here. Alright, there we go. Now, the assigned landing bay, again, it looks like it's this little icon. It's like a blue circle with a little triangle pointing downward, like a down arrow. And you're going to very carefully fly there. Make sure you're not flying too fast, because remember, it's hard to brake in space. I think this is considered dense space, so you kind of coast around, you kind of glide around. So yeah, I'm just holding W, I'm just flying along. Now, there's also another thing to note too, is it is space, so there is a right way, and you don't want to land upside down. And let me show you what I mean first. So I'm just going to align my ship here very carefully. You don't want to rush this. You don't want to crash and die now that you're nearly here, okay? And sometimes your ship will just randomly explode because this game is still in alpha. Alright, so I'm going to, you know, line up with the dock here using my buttons. And you see how the, let's see if I can point this out. You see how the turrets are here? And how there's a doorway there? So this is the right way to land. But if you were approaching this spaceship like this, it's hard to tell, but hey, guess what? You don't want to land on the bottom, okay? You don't want to land here. That's the bottom of the landing pad. So make sure you align your ship properly, okay? There we go. And, you know, I do have my speed a little high. I should mouse wheel down and get just a little bit cheaper, you know, or not cheaper, but lower speed. We're going to align the ship here. Now, I'm going to push in and lower my landing gear. Hello? Game? It normally says... There it is. Landing gear deployed. Cool. So, now I'm going to tap the control key very slowly. Not too fast. If you try to rush this, you'll blow up and die. I also want to be near the doorway, too. So, there we go. I'm just going to tap that control key, and we're landed. So, now that we're landed, we're going to push I and turn the ship off. Okay. Now, depending on the ship, you can hold Y to get out of your chair, and you will have to walk out the back or the side door. But this ship, I can just climb out of the cockpit because it's that type of ship. I think that makes it a little easier to get out of ships. Not all ships have that functionality, so it really depends on your ship. There you go. And this one automatically shuts, but not all ships do. If you exit out the back of your ship, you have to manually shut your doors. Okay, so let me show you what that looks like, because it's very important so someone doesn't steal your ship or your entire inventory of stuff in your ship. So here is the back entrance to the ship I have. All right, when I hold Y, this chair will spin around and spit me out over here. I will walk through these doorways. I will hold F and click on this to open ramp, and then I'm going to walk down the ramp. And then I'm going to hold F and try to find the closed door button and click that. If you don't do this, people can invade your ship and steal it. Even though it makes them a criminal, who cares? It's like 30 minutes, you know, even less if they mine rocks. And there you go, the ship is in the hangar. We're supposed to park there. We're going to walk in the doorway now. But we're almost done, and we haven't crashed yet or had any any bugs that ruined this experience so far. So we're going to go to lobby once we get in this elevator. Now, what I'm going to teach you next is how to bind to the hospital here so that when you die, unless you become a criminal and die, you will respawn at this hospital. Now, if you become a criminal and die, it does change your bind location. I don't know why, or if that's a problem everyone has, or just me. But I'm not going to talk too much about being a criminal in this video. I'm just showing you how to get here and how to like set your Hearthstone here, so to speak. So that whenever you start up the game, you can get right into the action and get to farming or whatever it is that you want to do. All right, and this does take a while because this is basically a horizontal elevator taking us to the meat of the space station. Here we go. So we're back to where we were at the start of the video. Congratulations, right? So now you want to go to the medical clinic, okay? So you're going to go to the medical clinic, and this is how you set your Hearthstone, so to speak. You're going to click on one of these little patient check-ins. It's going to give you a room number. It sometimes pops up, sometimes it doesn't. There you go, room 1. And you have to manually look for this, okay? This is kind of confusing. In this specific hospital, these are rooms 2 through 5. But room 1 is right here in the entrance. But hey, we got room 1, so whatever. So to do this, you're going to hold F and click lie down on the bed. The cool thing about medical beds is they restore your hydration and your food. So you don't have to worry about eating, which is a big, huge time saver. Don't be some weird role player and eat food. Just lay on medical beds and let them heal you. So what you're going to do now is hold F and click regeneration. Okay? And I already have my location set to the Kel 2 RX clinic at the current location. Whereas the other one is at the Maria Pure of Heart facility a million miles away, which is that Lorville town we were in. We don't want to click reset location because it will send us back there, so that's bad. So I've already set it bound, but you would click through to have it bound here through this menu. Once you've done that, you're basically all set. Just a few other things too. From here on out, you are free to go farm the game and play it Tarkov style. If you look here on this inventory, I have been farming what's called bunkers to get lots of gear and items. So I have lots of heavy armors, light armors, heavy helmets, okay, healing items. You know, these are like little medical stims. I've got tons of armors, ammos, undersuits, lots and lots of ammo. All right, lots and lots of guns. Lots of utility things like medical guns, multi-tools which you can use to mine things or use them like a gravity gun from Gmod. Okay, lots more ammo, all sorts of fun stuff. Lots of like really big guns like a railgun, sniper rifles, machine guns, you name it. It's all here, and this is through lots and lots of farming. And I guess I have a third page now too. Wow. Okay, it's only taking 1% of the space's inventory. So this is a local inventory, which means while you're on the space station, you can basically put items into this storage. There is no like chest that you go to store stuff in. You just push I, and your inventory right here on the right is everything that you have stashed in the station. And if you want to equip it, you just left click and drag it on your character, obviously, right? But I'm going to go more over that in the next video. So guys, if this video helped you out, this will save you tons of time. Make sure that you're bound here at her L1. Don't ever stay at Lorville. It's a huge time sink every single time you die or your game crashes or your game bugs out. because you do have to restart this game in its current state quite a lot. And if you bind here, it's so fast to get to your ship. It is so easy. And while you're here, if you have your ships bound elsewhere, assuming you have other ships, just click claim on them. Click file a claim on all your ships. Get them sent here. That way they'll be here next time you log in or whatever. Okay. There we go. So I'm not going to pay 300 credits, even though that's super cheap. And also, another thing too, Tarkov related, of course, looter shooter related, is you can vendor all of these for more monies if you don't want to use them. I'm just hoarding them right now for, I don't know, I just like to hoard things. I'm like a little rat, little hoarder rat. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm Soul Benji. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Be a bro and stay swole. Come back and see me. Leave a comment. Make sure you leave a like if this helped you out. Leave suggestions for the next videos. Okay, I'm still learning this game, but I want to share the meta of what you should be doing if you want to play this like an actual game and not some sort of weirdo simulator. Okay, this isn't a channel for like second lifers to come hang out. This is a channel for meta gamers and power gamers and people that want to min-max their time and who want to, I don't know, dunk on people with expensive ships. We're going to be doing lots of that. I'm going to show you how to do that too, because it's actually really easy and it makes them so bad. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, guys, make sure you're subscribed because I put out videos every single day. Maybe not a video every day of Star Citizen yet, but videos definitely every day. You don't want to miss them. Make sure you're subscribed. If you want to financially support me, you can click the thanks button down below for a one-time donation. It shows up in the chat, shows you how much it was donated, so it's a big flex on everyone in the chat section, the comments section, rather. And if you want to join and become a channel member, that's $5 a month. Click that join button down below. That gets you access to private, more personal videos and custom emojis and all that kind of fun stuff. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow, so make sure you're subscribed and take care.